What is going on, everybody? We are back with another reaction video. Thank you so much for joining me today. The support truly means a lot. And to all my new viewers stopping by, welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. I hope you all enjoyed this video today just as much as myself. But before we jump right into this, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and turn all post notifications on so you don't miss another one of these reaction videos. And if you would like to recommend some of these videos for me, myself, to react to, please feel free to spam my comment section and use that suggestion link down below in my description. Now let's jump right into this video. I'm not wasting no more time, man. Today I will be reacting to top 10 scariest British criminals. Now this is something actually new that I will be reacting to for the first time ever on this channel. So far, all the videos I've reacted to on this channel have been peaches and cream, nothing but sunshine and rainbows. So this right here is going to be something interesting to check out. Let's jump right into it.
Coming in at number 10, Charles Bronson, probably the most notorious British prisoner of all time and a very apt entry to kick off this list. Bronson is so infamous in the British criminal world that he's even been portrayed on the silver screen by the one and the only Tom Hardy. Born Michael Gordon Peterson on the 6th of December 1952, he later changed his name to Charles Bronson after the famous American actor. While he was fighting in the British underground bare-knuckle boxing scene, Bronson has been referred to in the British press as the most violent prisoner in Britain and has spent the majority of his life behind bars after initially being sentenced for...
He doesn't look so dangerous. Looks can be deceiving, man. He looks like a good guy, you know, cool guy.
Armed robbery in 1974. Although he's been released several times, Bronson has always ended up back behind bars and was given a discretionary life sentence in 1999. Despite this, in recent years, Charles Bronson has changed his name to Charles Salvador after taking up life as an artist and reportedly turning over a new leaf. He has pleaded his reform on numerous occasions, stating that Charles Bronson died in 2014 and that he leads a new life as Charles Salvador.
Number 9. He is the type of guy who will make you never trust your doctor again, and here's why. He was a British general practitioner and a serial killer who murdered at least 215 of his patients. His favorite method of killing his victims was to inject them with a lethal dose of drugs. Originally, he was only convicted of 15 murders, but after an official investigation was done, it was determined that he had killed hundreds of other people between the years of 1975 and 1998. He was convicted in January of 2000 and he was sentenced to life in prison, but he was found hanging in his cell 4 years after his trial. Could he be any more ironic? I bet he killed more than he saved as a doctor. Just so messed up.
Coming in now at number 8, Ronnie and Reggie Kray. Strangely enough, another set of British criminals that Tom Hardy has played on the silver screen, this time twice.
His dynamic duo.
Names Ronnie and Reggie Kray are synonymous with the British underworld and London gangland, and you probably won't find anyone in Britain who hasn't heard of these pair. They were notorious for being the perpetrators of organised crime in the East End of London during the 1950s and 1960s, alongside their gang known originally as the
Okay, this guy to the left doesn't seem so dangerous, should I say. Now he looks like a menace. Nothing good is going on in that mind. Like, he just looks like a mastermind compared to him. But he's just as crazy as him. Yeah, oh yeah, that's what looks are so deceiving.
Which led them to be involved in such nefarious activities as murder, armed robbery, hijacking, arson, protection racketeering, and countless assaults. The Kray twins were born on the 24th of October 1933, just 10 minutes apart, to parents Charles David Kray and Violet Annie Lee, and lived a life of such prolific notoriety that they were cemented into British culture as two of the most dangerous brothers to have ever lived.
Fred and Rose West hacked their way onto number 7 on our list. They were a married couple who abducted, tortured, sexually abused, and murdered women over a period of 20 years.
What type of sick couple y'all got to be? I mean, alright, this is ridiculous. I try to keep my mouth shut, but this is ridiculous now. You gotta be some sick people. Sick in the mind. In order to do something like this. And to hear that it was a couple doing this together? Like, you guys found pleasure in doing this together? How could you Like, how could you look each other in the eyes? How could you sleep in the same bed with each other and just... It's because they both sick, that's why.
Years. Their
That's
killing
exactly
spree
why.
also included some of their own children. Their
What?
house on Cromwell Street contained an awful secret. Their basement was set up as a torture chamber and a graveyard. The basement was also equipped with bondage and torture devices, and they had the ability to hang their victims from the wall and ceiling. Together, they might have killed around 30 women, but they were only charged with 12 murders.
Okay, as if 12 isn't enough. We need to get the whole 30. I don't care. You need to slam the book on them. Give them life, no parole. Give them life, no parole. What kind of sick couple y'all got to be there? Your own family members as well? Nobody heard any screaming or shouting next door or in the neighborhood when they was torturing these people in their house, in their basement? Yet again, it is the basement. I'm in the basement right now, and nobody can hear. Hey-oh! Can nobody hear me? Oh, I can imagine.
Fred West committed suicide before his trial started, and
Of course he
West is
did.
currently serving a life sentence without the possibility of parole.
Next up, and
You left your girl to do life in prison? Y'all was supposed to do that bid together, man. You don't get out. No. You don't get off that easy, man. You don't get off the hook that easy. These people be doing some outrageous things in this world and then want to take their lives when they get confronted about it, when it's time to do that jail time. Like, these people be so tough and so cruel on the outside of prison. When it's time to do that time, when it's time to see that judge, now they want to take their lives away, their very own lives. And that's the easy way out, man. Nah, do that time. Do that time. Sit behind them bars, man. And it's not going to be peaches and cream behind them bars, too. Because wait till them other inmates find out what you in here for. Yeah. Sick.
Peter Sutcliffe, also known as the Yorkshire Ripper. Peter Sutcliffe terrorized the British nation.
The Yorkshire Ripper. They called him the Yorkshire Ripper.
Between 1975 and 1980, horrifying the public with the very specific conditions that his crimes contained. In 1981, he was convicted of murdering 13 women and suspected of the attempted murder of 7 more.
And this is another question. Same as the last couple. Why is it only females? Do we have something against females? Why is it only females that this is happening to?
Sutcliffe, who lived in the Yorkshire area of Leeds and Bradford, was believed to regularly use the services of prostitutes and claimed that the voice of God had sent him on a mission to kill these women. The nation was
Those be the
shocked when his
crazy
modus
ones.
operandi would later change, and he began killing women who weren't prostitutes, which inevitably sent the Yorkshire public into a panic. He was initially arrested for driving with false number plates when police questioned him about the killings on a chance encounter, and he confessed to being the perpetrator. Sutcliffe would later plead insanity, but his claim was later rejected, and he was sentenced to life imprisonment, where he remains to this day.
Next up on this creepy list, in at number 5.
I mean, we had a similar situation, except it was prostitutes only. The guy was going around harming prostitutes only, female prostitutes. Like, I guess he had something against them. He actually ended up taking a few lives. But I think he only did a couple years. Like, he's out now. He's free now. That doesn't make any sense.
5, we have Amelia Dyer. She was originally trained as a nurse, but she eventually switched her career path and decided to take a stab at baby farming. This was a practice of adopting unwanted babies in exchange for money. She would prey on mothers who couldn't afford to keep their babies, so she would offer to give them a better life, but instead, she pocketed the money and strangled the baby to death with tape and dumped their bodies in the River Tame. She was able to get away with these horrific murders for over 30 years until she was caught and hung for her crimes. But she managed to murder at least 400 babies during her murdering spree in the 1800s.
400? 400? And you people are sick for giving the babies away. And she better not be talking that, oh, you know, God told me to do this and that. There was voices in my head. Because those be the crazy ones. And they deserve worse than a mental hospital, okay? they deserve worse than prison, okay? And some of them be getting out of the prison time and end up going to mental hospitals because they tell the judge, oh, I'm crazy, I'm mentally ill. It's that easy, man. At least over here, tell the judge you are mentally ill. Or act disoriented in some type of way in that courtroom, they will send you to a mental hospital rather than prison. Now, it's easy to fool our system. I don't know about y'all system, but it's easy to fool ours.
Okay, biting his way onto this list at number 4, we have Stephen Griffiths. He is notoriously known as the crossbow cannibal, and his story almost sounds too crazy to be real. But trust me, it is. His favorite pastime included murdering women with a crossbow and then eating their body parts. He actually turned his bathroom into a slaughterhouse where he would dismember his victims in the bathtub with power tools, and then he would start to eat his favorite body parts.
Ew! This is some Jeffrey Dahmer stuff. Ew! Ew! And why is it only females? Why are we only attacking females? Is this some type of fetish? I mean, ew. Do you just, Is it a fetish or something? Why are we only going after females? Which you can't go head on with a man? Is it harder to get a man, or should I say, is it harder to lure a man into your bathroom? Or, you know, physically manhandle a man to get him inside your home like that, or kidnap him? To be treated like how these poor ladies were? It must be harder. It must be difficult. These specific criminals must have something against women. Like, there has to be a bigger purpose, a bigger moral behind their actions, right? As to why they are targeting women only? Because I have yet to hear about this happening to a man.
In which I don't know what they are, and I'm just not going to question it. So this guy actually took their body parts and stored them in the fridge until he got hungry, and then he would start cooking them in the oven. He was actually diagnosed as a very violent psychopath at the age of 17 years old, but despite all of these warning signs and red flags, he managed to kill 3 women, and now he's currently serving a life sentence without the possibility of parole.
And coming in at number 3, Dennis Nilsen. And we're about to head down the hole of one of the most gruesome serial killers in British history. Dennis Nilsen, a Scottish serial killer and necrophile who murdered at least 12 young men, more than likely more, in a series of brutal and deranged killings committed between 1978 and 1983, all of which took place at several of his residences in London, England. Nilsen's modus operandi often targeted young, homeless, homosexual men, which he lured to his 2 North
Young, homeless, homosexual men, bro. See, that's that Jeffrey Dahmer stuff I be talking about. That's that weird stuff. Trying to pry on the weak. On the less fortunate. And those poor people was probably thinking that these criminals had the best interest for them. You know, wanted to help them out. Maybe they was building some type of connection, because you gotta build some type of genuine connection in order to lure somebody into your home. You have to build some type of connection over time and get that person to trust you. I mean, you guys even told me yourself. You guys don't give home tours. Come on now. You got random people that you just met all up in your house. There's some type of relationship. Some type of trust.
London addresses through guile and deception, often plying them with alcohol and then murdering them by strangulation. He kept the bodies beneath his floorboards, sometimes for periods as long as 8 months, and would then observe the bodies in a strange, twisted ritual. He would dispose of the remains after dissecting them by either burning them on a bonfire or flushing them down a toilet. His crimes were discovered when a plumber eventually discovered the remains of bones and flesh blocking the pipes of his shared flat, and he was sentenced to life in prison, where he died in 2018 at the age of 72.
And how do we do a list like this and not talk about this next guy? Well, Jack the Ripper brings us to number 2. Jack the Ripper is one of England's and the world's most infamous murderers because he was never captured and his identity remains unknown. He terrorized the Whitechapel.
So you mean to tell me he's still out and about today, running around? Well, when was he born? Maybe he passed away.
District of London in 1888, where he brutally murdered and mutilated at least 5 prostitutes. In each of his murders, the victims' throats would be slashed and the body would be severely mutilated, which indicated that he had some kind of knowledge about the human anatomy. Despite several investigations, the police had hundreds of suspects, but they weren't able to definitely arrest anyone. So even till this day, Jack the Ripper's identity and motive remains to be one of the biggest mysteries. All right, question for this guy right here.
That's
Jack
scary.
what's your last name?
Finch.
Finch. Okay. Do you know the anatomy?
It's not the Ripper.
No. Do you know how good are you with human anatomy?
Very poor.
Okay, good. So you're not Jack the Ripper.
I'm glad I'm not trying. And to finally end this gruesome list, we have one of Britain's first recorded female serial killers, Mary Ann Cotton, known as the Black Widow.
You don't gotta show me her full face. It looks scary enough. Just stay right there, man.
Cotton is reported to have murdered around 21 people, including 3 of her own husbands, apparently in order to collect on their insurance policies, which she would use.
Oh, okay. I see what type of woman we're dealing with here. Okay. She one of them women that want to use her husband's benefits, right? Oh, she wants the money, the benefits. She wants everything to herself that man has. And as soon as she's satisfied and has everything that she's wanted from that man, bye-bye. Now, I know some similar stories like this. Yeah, I know some crazy stories, but it wasn't as serious as this. They didn't go around, taking people's lives, but they did put a Hicks on. She did end up putting a Hicks on her husband. It's voodoo, man, that voodoo stuff. You guys believe in voodoo? In the comments down below, do you guys believe in voodoo? But, hey, man, she put a Hicks on all 3 of her husbands. Apparently it was voodoo, and they all died within the same year. She got married 3 times in 1 year, and they all died, mysteriously. No cause of death, just mysterious. 3 times
used to establish a new life, and even more horrifically, she was responsible for the death of 11 of her 13 children. Born Mary Ann Robson on the...
You killed 11 of your 13 children as well? You people don't even deserve to be on Earth. What the kids do?
31st of October, 1832, yes, that is Halloween, in County Durham, England. Cotton's modus operandi was to use arsenic poisoning, learned from her time as a nurse, that would slowly cause gastric pain in her victims and ensure a rapid decline of health. Now, this process was mostly undetectable until it appeared that almost everyone Mary Ann Cotton knew started to die around her. It kind of raised a few red flags. She was trialed and sentenced to death by hanging on the 24th of March 1873, where she died on the gallows, not by her neck breaking, but by strangulation caused by the rope being rigged too short. Many believe that this action was deliberate. Gnarly stuff, gnarly video.
All right, so this is the end of the...
Of course it was deliberate. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today to check out the top 10 most scariest British criminals. If you guys enjoyed this traumatizing video, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and turn all post notifications on so you don't miss another one of these reaction videos. Please feel free to spam my comment section and use that suggestion link down below in my description if you would like to recommend some more of these traumatizing videos for me, myself, to react to. Once again, I will catch you guys in the next reaction video. Stay safe, and please feel free to let me know how you guys felt about these stories and how you guys feel about these criminals in the comments down below. Stay safe. I mean that.